Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Sunday, July 17th, 2022. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my MLB best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Sunday, July 17th. First up, we see the Kansas City Royals taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Kris Bubic and Jose Barrios are your starters here. Now, Jose Barrios had a good outing last time out against the Phillies, 13 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. However, this Kansas City Royals lineup has been really good at limiting strikeouts at the plate, both against righties and lefties this season. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to have that same success. And overall in 2022, Barrios has really struggled. When you look, the home run ball has been a big issue for him. 19 home runs already conceded this season. I think the Royals offense can show up here. We've seen the Royals compete in this series already. And even without their some of the players in their lineup, and Andrew Benintendi, Whit Merrifield, to name a few, the Royals have really stepped it up. The next man up mentality has been there for them. Kris Bubic is a left-handed pitcher, and the Blue Jays have just struggled offensively against lefties, where they're ranked 25th in team OPS and 18th in isolated power in the last 30 days. Bubic hasn't been the best, but he has definitely looked a lot better recently than he did at the beginning of the season. I'm going to take a chance here with Kansas City plus 2.5. The Blue Jays are yet again big-time favorites in this spot. I'm not sure Barrios has been good enough to warrant a minus 300 price here, even with a shorthanded Royals team. Give me the Kansas City Royals here plus 2.5 runs on the extended run line. Next up, we see the Boston Red Sox taking on the New York Yankees. Chris Sale and Garrett Cole are your starters. And Chris Sale had a really good outing in his first start of 2022 against the Tampa Bay Rays. Didn't give up a single earned run, had 5 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. The command wasn't always the best for Sale, and I do worry about this particular start against the Yankees. He's not facing the Rays anymore. This is one of the top lineups, if not the best lineups in baseball in 2022. The Yankees are top 10 in both team OPS and isolated power in the last 30 days against left-handed pitching. I think they can get to Sale here. It's a really tough spot to be in. A hostile environment in Yankee Stadium for Sale's only second start of 2022 at the major league level. I think this is a really tough one for him. And on the other side, Garrett Cole, he has certainly had his struggles against this Red Sox lineup, so I automatically do lean towards the over. But I think Cole is still good enough here. He's able to pitch pretty deep into ball games, usually around 6-7 innings plus. I think he's good enough here for the Yankees bats to do really most of the damage. And I think the Yankees win this game going away. I'm going to take the New York Yankees and lay the 1.5 runs here at Yankee Stadium. Next up, we see the Atlanta Braves taking on the Washington Nationals with Spencer Strider going for the Braves. He has been one of the more exciting young pitchers in the league this season. 2.56 ERA, 110 strikeouts, is 13th in the league with only 70 1/3 innings pitched this year. Didn't even start the season as a starter for Atlanta, so really impressive numbers for Strider. In his last 4 outings, he's given up at 1 earned run or fewer in all 4 of those outings. He's faced some pretty tough lineups in that stretch, the Dodgers, Cardinals, and Mets included there. I think Strider pitches well yet again, and the Washington Nationals going probably with a bullpen game here as they have not announced a starter. This bullpen has been really overworked recently, and I don't like their chances. It's the 30th ranked projected WAR bullpen in the league right now. I think this is a really tough spot for Washington in here. I like the Atlanta Braves here on the run line. Next up, we see the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Jordan Lyles and Corey Kluber as your starters. It's really tough to back Jordan Lyles in this spot, as the Rays have had a lot of success against pitch-to-contact guys in recent seasons. Now, Jordan Lyles last time out was sharp for the Orioles, and the Orioles have been one of the hotter teams in baseball as of late. But Tampa Bay going with Kluber here. He's a guy that's going to be able to get you some innings. He's got his ERA below 3.75, which is exactly what the Rays would have wanted from him this season in the middle of that rotation. He's given the Rays already 88 innings pitched this season. His last 2 outings have been very sharp against the Boston Red Sox, where he went 12 innings combined, giving up only 2 earned runs with 12 strikeouts. I like Kluber here, and I like the Tampa Bay Rays here as well. Give me them on the money line. Next up, we see the Detroit Tigers taking on the Cleveland Guardians with Bo Brisky and Shane Bieber as your starters for now, but no official lineup for this game quite yet, so we could see a pitching change. Shane Bieber's been the ace of this Guardians rotation for quite some time now, pitching well in 2022 despite that 4-5 record. He's still got a 3.24 ERA, and I like him in this spot against the Tigers lineup that just hasn't done much this year against right-handed pitching. On the other side, Bo Brisky, he has been exactly what the Tigers would have wanted from him. He was thrown into that rotation in the early part of the season season because of the injuries that the Tigers suffered in that rotation at the start of the year. And to have a 4.19 ERA, to give you 81 and 2/3 innings pitched this season, Brisky has been a competitor for the Tigers. Now, I don't love him in this spot. The Guardians did a lot of damage on the Tigers early on in that game on Saturday afternoon offensively. And while they may not repeat that performance, Brisky has given up 3 earned runs or more in 4 of his last 5 outings. He's more of a pitch-to-contact guy, and the Guardians have done really well against those type of pitchers as they don't really strike out at the plate to begin with. So I think they're going to be able to get a lot of guys on base, do some damage, maybe hit a couple home runs, and win this game going away. Give me the Cleveland Guardians on the run line here. In our next matchup, we see the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Miami Marlins with Aaron Nola and Trevor Rogers as your starters. Now, although Aaron Nola struggled in his last outing, I still think he's the much better option in this particular matchup. Trevor Rogers has just had a really disappointing 2022 campaign for the Marlins. 5.42 ERA with a 4-8 record. And I just don't think his offense is going to do much to back him up in this spot either. The Marlins are really struggling to score runs, especially with Jazz Chisholm out of the lineup. We saw a blowout victory for the Phillies on Saturday. And while I don't think this game's going to get that ugly, I still think the Phillies win this game and win it pretty convincingly as well. The money line price is not bad enough, but I will sprinkle on the run line here. Give me the Phillies on the money line with a little sprinkle on the -1.5. Next up, we see an AL Central battle between the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. Dylan Cease is the starter for the White Sox. No official starter for the Twins listed. If they decide to go with a bullpen game here, I don't really think it's the best option. Twins bullpen hasn't been the best. It's definitely improving as of late, but has struggled in 2022 overall. And when you look at Dylan Cease, and I was really surprised to see this when I was doing my research, I knew he's having a good year. I mean, he's got a 2.3 ERA, 142 strikeouts in 2022, but he is having an even better last month or so. You can even go back to May 29th and his start against the Chicago Cubs back on May 29th. Since then, Dylan Cease has not had a single start where he's allowed more than 1 earned run in any of those starts, and he's pitched 9 times now. He pitched 3 times in July so far, 5 in June, and that start against on May 29th. He's faced some tough lineups, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Giants, the Guardians, and he has really excelled. He's missing a lot of bats. The walks have been an issue for him at times, and we've seen him give up some unearned runs because the White Sox defense has had its struggles, but Dylan Cease has still been one of the best pitchers in the league in 2022, and I have to take him here in a revenge spot for the Chicago White Sox. The Twins have looked pretty good, and they've been really good against right-handed pitching, but I think Dylan Cease gives the White Sox the edge here. Give me Chicago on the money line. In our next matchup, we see the Oakland Athletics taking on the Houston Astros. We're going to see Jake Odorizzi on the mound for the Astros, but no official starter listed for the Oakland A's. Kind of an unfortunate common theme for Sunday's card. The last card before the All-Star break, I'd like to see some lines out, some starting pitchers, but we're going to have to see who the A's decide to go with here. Jake Odorizzi was really impressive in his last outing against this Oakland A's lineup where the Astros won and covered the run line. The Astros have won 4 of the last 5 starts that Odorizzi's had. Now, Odorizzi struggled back on the 4th of July against the Royals. He only had 3 strikeouts in 4 innings and gave up 5 earned runs. And to me, Jake Odorizzi is his best when he's missing bats. We saw in his career year with the Minnesota Twins, he was able to earn a ton of strikeouts. And ever since that season, he hasn't really been the same because the strikeout numbers have dipped and dipped. But to have 7 Ks in 7 innings against the Oakland A's last time out, very impressive, and he didn't give up a single earned run that one. I like Odorizzi and the Astros here to get another win. Give me them on the run line here at home. In our next matchup, we see the Cincinnati Reds taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, no official starter listed for the Cardinals. We should see Graham Ashcraft going for the Reds, and although I may not be in love with the idea of a bullpen game here for St. Louis, I will say they have done it quite a few times this year, so they at least have that experience, and Graham Ashcraft is just not a guy I can back right now. In his last 11 innings pitched, he's given up 17 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks as well, and he's just not earning a lot of strikeouts. So when you're a pitch-to-contact guy and you're giving up those hits and walks, it's just really tough to have a lot of success. The Cardinals have been really good against right-handed pitching lately. They're also a lineup themselves that doesn't strike out a ton to begin with, so I just don't see how Ashcraft's going to have a good outing here. And the Cincinnati Reds bullpen has not been good in 2022 either, so I just think this is a really tough spot for Cincinnati's pitching staff. I like the St. Louis Cardinals here on the run line. Next up, we see the New York Mets taking on the Chicago Cubs with David Peterson and Adrian Sampson on the mound. Now, David Peterson has given up some home runs and walks lately, 8 walks in his last 9 innings pitched. That is concerning. Now, the strikeouts have been there for Peterson this season, which has been a really big positive sign for him. 76 Ks and 67 in the third innings. But the home runs and walks are certainly concerning. And the Chicago Cubs have had a pretty good year against left-handed pitching overall in 2022. Their offense has certainly struggled in the last 2 weeks or so, but I still think against Peterson, they'll be able to find some runs early on. On the other side, Adrian Sampson's not a guy I can back right now. The New York Mets have been very, very good against right-handed pitching. Sampson's coming off one of his weakest starts in 2022 against the Orioles, where he gave up 6 hits, 3 earned, and a home run, and 2 walks as well, only 3 strikeouts. This Mets lineup's been great against righties. I think they get to Sampson here and the Chicago Cubs bullpen. After a doubleheader game, these two pitching staffs are a little bit stretched right now, and I think the offenses can take advantage of it. Give me the over in the New York Mets and the Chicago Cubs game. In our next matchup, we see the Seattle Mariners taking on the Texas Rangers. Chris Flexen and Glenn Otto are your starters. Now, similar to last game, I'm going to take the over in this spot. These are two starting pitchers that I am looking to fade quite a bit. Although Chris Flexen's got that sub-4 ERA, I still worry about his sustainability going forward. Only 67 strikeouts in 96 innings pitched, and he's still giving up 11 home runs and 34 walks on the year, and a lot of sharp contact and average exit velocity has been up this season as well. So I just don't know if he's going to be able to continue to pitch this well. When you look at the other side, Glenn Otto's walking a ton of batters in 2022, and it's been one of the bigger reasons why his ERA is above 5 at 5.50 right now. In his last 4 outings, Otto has given up at least 4 earned runs in 3 of those 4, and he hasn't really even faced the toughest of lineups in that stretch: the Nationals, Mets, Orioles, and Athletics. So I think the Mariners, one of the top lineups in baseball recently, I would say. I think they can get to Otto here. I like the over in this Mariners-Rangers matchup. Next up, we see the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Colorado Rockies, with Austin Gomber going for the Rockies here. No official starter for the Pirates, and this has got to be a game I'm staying away from altogether. I'm going to take a shot here with Pittsburgh and the plus money, what we're probably going to get with the Pirates here. No official line yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But the Pirates have been the underdogs in the first 2 games. They haven't had any success in those first 2 games, but against left-handed pitching, the Pirates have been solid, at least top 15 in isolated power in the last 30 days. But like I said, not my favorite game on the board. Overall, I'm staying away. Give me the Pittsburgh Pirates in a lean here on the money line. Next up, we see the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the San Francisco Giants. Jason Alexander and Logan Webb are your starters. I'm going to take the San Francisco Giants team total over. I'm also going to take the full game over as well. Jason Alexander in his last 5 outings has given up at least 1 home run in 4 of those 5 outings. He's not really a guy that's going to pitch too deep into ball games, and although in the beginning of the season, this Brewers bullpen was one of the top bullpens in the league, we're seeing Josh Hader really struggle, and overall the Brewers bullpen is taking a hit because of it. I don't really know if this is going to be a great spot here for Milwaukee's pitching staff. The Giants lineup has been pretty good in this series, and I do think that San Francisco gets on the board early and often. On the other side, Logan Webb, although he didn't give up a single earned run last time out against the Diamondbacks, I watched that start, and the Diamondbacks had a few really deep fly balls. There were a couple of really nice plays in the field by San Francisco to keep the runs off the board, but the Diamondbacks still had 7 runners on base in 6 innings against Webb, and I think the Brewers, a team that's top 5 in baseball in team OPS and isolated power against righties in the last month or so, I think they're going to be able to do a little bit of damage on Webb. Nothing crazy. I think the Giants are favorites for a reason. I do think they win this ball game, but the price is a little bit out of hand here. I think the better play is just taking the over because the total's a little bit low because we're playing at a pitcher-friendly ballpark at Oracle Park. I like the over in this Brewers-Giants matchup, and like I said, I do like the San Francisco Giants team total over as well. In our final game of the night, we see the San Diego Padres taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks with Merrill Kelly and Mike Clevinger as your starters. Now, although these pitchers have similar ERAs, I will say they are pitching in different directions right now. They're going in opposite directions. When you look at Merrill Kelly, his last 2 outings against the Giants, 13 in the third innings with only 4 earned runs combined in those starts. A win for the Diamondbacks last time out. He's pitching well for Arizona recently. On the other side, though, Mike Clevinger, in his last 11 in the third innings, giving up 8 earned runs, 2 home runs, 11 base hits, 3 walks to go with it. Strikeout numbers are a little bit down for him, so he is struggling recently, and 2 losses outright to the Mariners and Rockies in his last 2 outings has been a result of it. So the Padres are pretty big favorites here. I think there's some value on the underdog with the better pitcher in Merrill Kelly. And with Clevinger having some issues with the long ball, we know the Diamondbacks have a pretty powerful lineup, pretty home run dependent lineup, especially against righties. I think they can hit a few homers in this spot against Clevenger and keep this game close. We have a pretty low total. I do expect a pretty low scoring game, but also a close game. I'm going to take Arizona here plus the 1.5. I think this is a 4-3, 3-2 final score any way you slice it. And that's it. Those are the games for Sunday, July 17th. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. We're going to have a few days off now as the MLB All-Star break is underway. So, enjoy your break. I'm going to be missing you guys in the comments, but it'll be nice to have a few days off and a few days away from the MLB. But I'll be watching the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby, and I'm going to put my Home Run Derby prop winner, who I think has the best chance, or at least has the best odds, in the comment sections below, so you can check that out. I'll pin it to the comments below. But good luck, everybody, and thanks again for watching. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.